excited this year just to be here to have the conference. It's been a challenging year in so many ways. But our office has been working hard with many of you across the country to ensure that we keep this agenda front and center. So my name is Ken Harris. I am the president of the National Healthy Start Association, and I also happen to be one of the directors of the Federal Healthy Start program in New Haven, Connecticut. And so where I've been for a long time, and many of you that know me know that I started with the Boston Healthy Start when we were just 15 sites across the country. So our Healthy Start has grown over the years, and so has our work around men and fathers. And so we really are delighted to host this pre-summit conference right before our annual meeting. So thank you again for coming. I'm delighted to have the opportunity also to introduce who I think is one of the hardest working women in America, and that is our CEO, Deborah Frazier, who's going to come and also give you greetings and opening remarks. And so let's really receive Deborah with a nice warm applause.
Good morning. And welcome to all of you, as Ken said, our third annual Summit on Fatherhood and the Health and Wellness of Boys and Men. And I was thinking this morning of how we got started on this journey 3 years ago. And we got started as Ken and the Kens. Where's Ken Scarborough? There you are, right in front of me. I don't have my glasses on. But the Kens and I, we were talking with all of our fatherhood coordinators around the country, program managers, Healthy Start project directors, and others involved in this work with men's health and with fatherhood, about the issues that you guys were facing in helping men to face their health issues and face the issues that they needed to face in order to be stronger and better fathers in their families. And at the same time, we were at the table with Men's Health Network and their roundtables, bringing together professional organizations and federal organizations to have those same discussions around men's health and fatherhood. And Healthy Start knows in their 26 years of working with families that if you want to address birth outcomes, you've got to go all the way. You can't just look at a pregnancy as one sentinel event from conception to birth. And we learned working with moms that you've got to address all the issues. So we wanted to step out there and work with dads. We had to address all the issues that we heard from you guys. And that's part of what we want to do with this conference every year. And it's part of what we were hearing from the roundtable, that we wanted to address issues of child support, issues of workforce, issues of men's health and their access to health care. And that's part of what we're bringing here. I want to acknowledge our partner in this effort, Men's Health Network. And I want to acknowledge the work of Ken and our board, and ask our board to stand, those who are here with us this morning. I know I saw Ken. That's you, Ken. Who've helped us to get, and Rashid, that was quick. If that was a stop sign, we'd have a ticket. And acknowledge Jimmy, who's standing in the back with Andrew. Jimmy, raise your hand. That's Jimmy. And Jimmy had some board members who were circling around in here, Armin and some others who were in the room. And Armin will be back, and we'll invite Armin up to say a few words. But we want to acknowledge the support of our partner in this work, Men's Health Network. At this time, I also want to acknowledge and recognize one of our speakers from last year, Mr. Thabiti Boone. You guys remember Thabiti Boone from last year? Thabiti, would you come up and say good morning and hello to our audience? Thabiti sent a note to us and said, "What, you're having a conference? I should be there." And he is.
Good morning. Yeah, I got in about 5 a.m. this morning. I just want to say, Ms. Frazier, thank you. Ken Harris, my good friend, thank you. And just the work that you all are doing, continue to do, has been very, very important to our president, Obama. And those who know or don't know, my role for the last 7, 8 years is to work very closely with our former president, being his fatherhood representative and champion. And one of the first initiatives that the president took on when he took office was fatherhood. And he and I spoke at the last Christmas party he had at the White House. And we kind of huddled up, and he's reflecting on, Ms. Frazier, the 8 years of all the stuff that he's done to move our country forward. And so, if you're around the president, he gets this stern look, this laser-focused look. And so I said to him, Mr. President, it's been an honor for me to serve as your representative and champion. He said, thank you. And I said, so what do we do now with this work of fatherhood? And one of the things he said, that's one of the most important issues and initiatives I don't want to see get lost. He said it from a personal standpoint. And as you know, since he has not been in office, he's been spending a lot of family time with his wife, as well as now being a full-time father, to his 2 daughters. So fatherhood and family and being responsible and committed and showing that above all things that we do in this country, that nothing is greater than parents and moms and dads, being there for our children. So I say all that to say this, is that so much has grown in this work over the last 8 years. And we certainly don't want to see a regression in that work. And one of the things that the president had 4 pillars: raising awareness, how do we draw attention on the importance of our fathers. The second piece was partnerships. How do we all work in our local communities, engaged around partnerships and making sure that in our partnerships, fatherhood is a part of that conversation and effort. The third piece which is very important, is policy. How do we continue to advocate policies around funding? Some of the things you talked about in terms of child support. One of the biggest things that I want you all to be aware of, one of the biggest policy fights right now is shared parenting time. So a lot of states are now taking on this task of how do we engage fathers in a different capacity? How do we increase some of their rights? And so we're looking at parent time. How can we increase dads more time with their children and have that legislated, have that supported by our elected officials in our states and our communities? And then the last piece, the president wanted to always make sure while we're getting fathers to be responsible and step up and pay child support and those kind of things, but how do we just celebrate not just so much of what fathers should be doing, but just the fact that we need to celebrate and acknowledge that we do have dads who are really working hard every day to be in the lives of their children, and their families. So I'm like a free agent now. I'm still working with the president. He has the Obama Foundation, and some of the things that you saw him work on as the president will be housed under the Obama Foundation. But I just want to one of the reasons why I wanted to come to the conference, Ms. Frazier, is to let you know, and all of you know, that my personal commitment to this work of fatherhood is still there. I still would like to work within the movement. I still would like to work and be invited to work with you all. I'm like a wealth of resources within myself. I have access to a lot of different entities that can kind of help push us forward in this work. And so I'm here to stay connected, stay committed to you all. And so I'm just happy to be here Ms. Frazier again, and I just want to kind of just bring some kind of what has went on with the president, what is his thinking in terms of how do we continue to move this work. And I'm here. I think I will always be a representative and I will always be a champion for this cause before Obama, during President Obama, and after. And let me just say this political note real quick. This current administration is really looking to dismantle all of our work. All of our work. And it's going to require us to really be vigilant and push and fight, not in a soft way, where we just submit our grants and we ask for things, but it's going to require us to be really strong fighters because that administration is fighting hard to push back. And you see some of that stuff. And thank God the repeal of the health care did not happen. We hope that they're cutting back on a lot of domestic funding, which includes fatherhood programs and mentoring programs. So we have to push and fight back that administration or anyone that goes against the work that we work so hard to do. So with that being said, I'm here for a couple of days. I want to meet with you individually, but also Ms. Frazier and Ken, you know, whatever I can do with National Help You Start, I'm with you. So again, thank you for the work that you're doing, and this third Fatherhood Summit, you know, I'm pleased with that. And like I said, let's do this and make this happen. As I left the president, I mean, it was like a sadness around this. And we all were kind of, you know, depressed and sad. So for me, my depression right now is, how do I continue to stay engaged? And one of the things when you leave the administration is almost like, where do you go? There's nothing higher than that. There's things lower than that. But I'm trying to stay at least committed around this work. And so I need you all help to help me to stay committed and connected to this work on behalf of the work that we've been able to do in the administration and beyond. So with that being said, thank you so much for allowing me to share a few words of where we are in terms of the movement and how we need to continue to fight for it. Thank you so much and enjoy today and tomorrow. And thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, you guys ready to go?
Yes.
I only heard one side. You guys ready to go?
Yeah.
That sounds like everybody. So a couple of things I need you to help us do. One is we have a fantastic team that has come together to help us with this conference and our big conference. And we want to make sure they know that they are appreciated. We need you all to help us do that. So I want applause, I want cheers, I want lots of things like that in just a moment when I announce the team that we want to thank. And I want them to hear, because some of them are outside in the lobby. So you guys ready to help me do that? So we really want to thank folks that came together to help us organize and put stuff together, nice packets and badges for you, all that good stuff was really to the help of Karina Jackson and the entire Tulsa Help You Start team. So let's give them a round of applause and all that good stuff. I didn't hear any cheering. So that's for them. And again, I want to acknowledge our board members again. I think it was Ken and Rashid, and we have other board members that will be joining us. And so thanking them again. I also want to give acknowledgement to my other half. And you all, it's a special time for me because I've been separated from my twin, Ken, for a long time. And so Ken is here, Ken Scarborough. So with in your packets, you'll see a lot of our information on our CAM modelhood for fatherhood. We've still been pushing that. And it's been a hard push because we haven't gotten lots of money to help us push, but nonetheless, it has moved forward, and there's a nice executive summary of our CAM, our Core Adaptive Model for Fatherhood program, inside of your packet. So if you're interested in having us come to do the training or any other resources you need on our CAM model, please check it out. But in your packet, you should have information about that. And Ken is here as well, so if you need to chat about it, he's around as well. He looks as sharp as I do. At this time, Deborah had mentioned one of our co-sponsors is the Men's Health Network, and I'm going to ask Armin Brott if you would come and just give a welcome on behalf of the Men's Health Network. And after that, we'll get more students.
All right, so how many of you are named Ken? There's Ken Scarborough, Ken Harris, Ken Braswell. It's enough. There's only one Armin, though, just in case you're interested in it. It's always that way. So I want to just welcome you all on behalf of the Men's Health Network and the work that we've been doing with Deborah for the past 3 years on this particular conference and on many other things has been really fantastic. And we've been working with Deborah on fatherhood programs, and we do a lot of that on our own. And we work generally to improve the health and well-being of men and boys and their families where they live, work, play, and pray, is how we say it. And look forward to connecting with some of you folks and talking about how we might be able to work together. And thanks for coming and learn lots of good stuff.